Hello and welcome to Creepy Puppets Presents. So it's midterms week here, so I'm a little bit busy to do a kind of full video. So this is going to be one of these sort of minimal editing ideas. What I'm mostly interested in is giving my reaction to the DuckTales series finale that took place on Monday night, and actually I didn't see it until yesterday, so it's only been one day for me. I realize that I usually talk about movies that are about paleontology themed, but I mean, ducks are technically birds, and birds are a form of dinosaur, so it fits. I really hate the idea that cartoon media has to be for kids. I mean, I think we've seen with anime that that's clearly wrong, and we've now got a generation of animators who've grown up on anime and have accepted the idea that cartoons can be for everybody. And, you know, not just DuckTales, but sister series like Amphibia and The Owl House, and I would say Gravity Falls from what I've heard, but I've not actually seen enough of that show to make a judgment. The writing in a lot of these family programs is a hell of a lot better than the writing on most shows that are intended specifically for adults. And so while I've been quarantined in my tiny little apartment, I have just felt that, you know, watching DuckTales Monday nights at 7 this past year has really been, you know, a little slice of relief from what has been otherwise a very isolating existence. So I have a tremendous sadness with seeing it go, and I was so worried that they wouldn't give a satisfying conclusion to the franchise. But they did, and I was quite overwhelmed with emotions throughout the process. I'll start by spoiling the twist of the episode in 3, 2, 1. Webby is Scrooge's daughter. She was cloned from him because in the episode The First Adventure, Scrooge makes one of the artifacts, the Papyrus of Binding, which can alter reality, undiscoverable to anyone except for his heirs. He did that to protect Donald and Della, so Fowl decided to create an heir of their own, so they cloned April, was her code name, but she was later named Webby, and then May and June, so April, May, and June, who are traditionally Daisy's nieces, are all clones of Scrooge McDuck, and of course Webby is the prime clone. I'm not sure how I feel about that twist. I was kind of expecting that she would be related to the Duck family somehow, but the clone of Scrooge McDuck wasn't something I was expecting. Also, it's hilarious if you go and watch any of the Dewey and Webby ships videos on YouTube and just read through the comments, and either all the people who are fanning over them or the people who've come to troll in the last 48 hours about the finale, because Webby and Dewey are first cousins once removed now. But actually, the idea of them being related was always the vibe that I got from the characters, not the ship. And back in the original show, which I loved, Webby was treated like the annoying younger sister of the group, but she always seemed to have like weird savant-like abilities to be useful in an adventure. It's especially obvious in the movie, which I also really loved. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it does feel like it's what her character deserves, being integrated into the Duck family proper. I feel like Huey's arc this season could have gotten slightly better resolution, but I think that making this also a Huey episode was a good decision. In this episode, Huey finally emerges as the leader character that he was supposed to have been way, way back, you know, in the original DuckTales. So he ends the series where the old series began in terms of character. I also loved that, you know, the headless man horse, which was a throwaway joke, turned out to be this universe's version of Goliath. And I was quite impressed that they had real character death. A black heron dies at the end. But for me, the moment that sticks in my head most is the moment at the sort of one third of the way through. And it's when Della and Donald Duck are on the houseboat and he's packing for his trip with Daisy because they're going to go on an adventure for a while. And Della has been very hostile to the idea of him leaving, and they break down and have a. Della breaks down and has a tearful conversation about how she's going to miss Donald, about how much time they had apart, and even though she has her kids and Uncle Scrooge, Donald is her brother, and she will miss him. They hug, they cry, and Donald says a line that I think I'm going to remember most about this episode, which is, Daisy is my adventure now. And I'm so happy that they've finally decided to not write Daisy as a bitch, which they usually do. And the end of the episode sort of implies Donald and Daisy are going to take May and June, and, maybe they'll, I don't know, end up adopting them or something. It was all very sweet. I will say that my biggest regret for the show being canceled so soon is that we don't have as much time with Della as we did with all the other characters, and she was really getting good in terms of character development, and I'm sad to see her go. Those are sort of the main thoughts I had, so I'm sure I'll have more as I see it again and process it, but this was 3 great seasons of television that was both nostalgic and was a little bit of relief, especially in the past year under these quarantine conditions. Take care, everybody.